Welcome to a live reading of The Effigy of Love, as written by Tony Sherblom and read by Juho Hankela. This is the prologue, Turning Grey. I had always thought that the greyness of the world occurred due to natural circumstances. The mass of dark clouds was simply too thick to let the brilliant sun pierce it. The grey mist was deaf to the tolling of the bells in the morning. The thick smoke from the chimneys refused to leave the comfort of the embers that had spawned it. The greed of man, the selfishness of the world, the endless cruelty, all this greyness around me seemed so natural that I never felt the urge to question it. To be honest, deep inside I thought I already knew the answers to everything. I had studied the world since I was 5 after all. I had read all manners of scriptures, ledgers, and whatnots, and none of them contained any fairy tales like the ones when I was a child. No sunshine nor rainbows, no colors nor joy. Thus, to question the grey simply never even occurred to me. Besides, it only would have gotten me punished for even thinking such a redundant thought, wouldn't it? Surely you have punished people for far less than asking questions, haven't you? No, I was smart enough to know not to do that. Truthfully, in my naive state of mind, I assumed that I was smarter than most people that I met. The peasants knew only when to sow and when to reap. The tutors when to lecture and when to beat, the maidens when to clean and when to feed. The rabble, as you like to call them, outside our castle walls knew so little, whereas I had learned even the secret laws of the universe. Things fall to the ground when you let go of them. Night follows day. Water in motion does not freeze. Do you know what the funny thing is, though? The funniest lesson I learned in my all-knowing ignorance, all from experience, and without as much as a tutor or guiding hand, mind you, was that the color of the world depended on something I had not come to fully grasp. That this grey prison called home was it. What you see is what you get. Fairy tales are graphic and full of vivid magic because the people in them make it so. Reality is a grey mass of cruel mundanity because you make it so. It is laughable, isn't it? To think that this truly is as good as it gets. I was ignorant just like you for so long. Somehow, it had never occurred to me that the world around us was seen through a lens, one forced upon us after being born through methods most cruel, a lens that filtered all that was beautiful in the world, effectively obscuring the true colors of each and every one, turning them to grey waste. But to reveal the true colors, one only had to shove the grayness aside, break the lens, and see through the facade. That man's love painted the world green like a spring meadow, while his spouse's joy painted the world golden like the rays of the sun. That neighbor's caring heart added the auburn to the autumnal leaves, while his son's compassion added the blue to the splashing rivers. If you remove the lens, you'll see that everyone carries their own color. And when they are added to the grey, they resonate in a blissful harmony, they dance across the world, they sing in the sweetest symphony, and leave the world painted in a million different shades. It could, and it has. Only it doesn't anymore, and never again will. Imagine learning such a beauty had been possible all this time, yet you find yourself living in a world so grey, so devoid of love, that even the sun had lost its brilliance. That somehow man's heart and soul had grown so rotten and cold that even a celestial body infinitely far away from us had turned its back on us, leaving us to perpetually saunter in its lingering shadow. Or worse yet, that God himself shunned his creation so that he had stopped answering our prayers, that even our Creator deemed us hopeless creatures. Alas, who am I to speak on their behalf? I am but a boy, tarnished and beyond saving. Unfathomable are God's decisions, and unexplainable are his ways. The sun might even have considered it a mercy to leave us in its shadow, thinking we'd be unable to bear the ugliness around us if we saw it clearly. Truly, being blind to this cruelty would be a mercy scarcely deserved, yet not even the lack of light can conceal it. The ugliness within your dark heart still shines through like glowing embers refusing to die. I know what you're thinking, and I am no hypocrite. My heart bleeds black too. No small thanks to you. Though my ignorance was removed last summer and I've witnessed the world for what it could be, and maybe once was, there is no joy left within me nor without. The world has been wholly tainted with an ugly grey. The last remnant of joy has been swept away, stolen away from me like a breath in the wind. I was hopeful for a while that despite all setbacks and misfortunes, I'd still get to reach a fairy tale ending. I deserved it, didn't I? How naive. I know joy will never return to this world. There is simply no space for it. This world is unsightly, dull, grey, and will thus perpetually remain like all of its inhabitants. No, because of its inhabitants. Alas, the moment for silent contemplation is over. I've wasted enough breath on you. Take this knowledge I've imparted on you as the last act of kindness I'll ever do, for I, too, have already shed the last of my colors and turned grey.